Most of us don't lose to life, we lose to our own thoughts. Hello, friends, welcome to my channel MS Audiocity. Have you ever noticed how just one negative thought can run our entire day? How to sudden fear can take away all our courage, and all constant mental noise keeps distracting us. Today, we are talking about a book that focuses exactly on this issue. The book is called Think Straight by Darius Foroux. This teaches us something powerful. Your thoughts are not your master, they are simply a tool. And if you learn to clear your mind, your life will also become clear, simpler, and more peaceful. If you truly want to learn from this book, make sure you stay with me till the end of the video. And if you enjoy this content, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. So let's begin. Chapter 1. Control your thoughts. Have you ever stopped and noticed how your thoughts behave? Sometimes they arrive like a gentle waves, and sometimes they crush in like a storm you never asked for. We cannot choose which thoughts enter our mind, but we can choose which thoughts we allow to stay. This is the first and most powerful lesson of Think Straight by Darius Foroux. You are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts. Imagine sitting on the side of road. Your thoughts are like a car passing by, some fast, some slow, some loud, some quiet, some heavy, some harmless. And the most important part is the you don't need to run after every car. You don't need to change every thoughts. A negative thoughts appears. What if I fail? Instead of accepting it as a truth, just ask, is this thought helping me or hurting me? This is one question can become a turning point in your mental life because a thought only gains power when you give it attention like a tiny spark. It becomes a fire only if you keep feeding it. So when a stressful, fearful and self-doubt thoughts appears, you can calmly say, okay, this is just thought or not reality. You don't fight it, you don't suppress it, you simply observe it, and slowly you begin to feel a space between you and your thoughts. Your mind is a tool, like a lens. You can point it towards cures or clarity. You can zoom into your problems or zoom into your possibilities. The power had always been yours, but nobody taught us how to use it. Here's a truth. If you don't control your thoughts will control you. And that's how people slip into anxiety, overthinking, self doubts, and emotional confusion. But the moment you step back and say, I am the thinker, not the thoughts, something shifts inside you. You feel calmer, you feel clear, you begin to take back control. This is the foundation of thinking straight. Before you can direct your life, you must learn to direct your mind. And before you can direct your mind, you must first notice your thoughts instead of drawing in them. Chapter 2. Focus on what truly matters. In a life, thousand things happen around us, but the truth is most of them are not in our control. The weather, what people think of you, what someone will say today, how someone behaves, how the world reacts, almost all of these are outside your influence, and yet we spend our most valuable time worrying about these very things. Think straight teaches us direct your energy only towards what you can truly control. Think for a moment when you worrying about something outside your control. It is like locking yourself in a room full of smoke. You can't breathe, you can't think, and everything feels suffocating. But when you shift your attention towards what you can do, what you can influence, what you can change, you begin to gain your power back. You realize you are not standing in the middle of a storm, you are standing in the calm center of hill, where there is a stillness and clarity. The message of this chapter is simple. Don't spend your life focusing on noise. Listen to what truly matters. If someone doesn't like you, that's not in your control, but your response, your attitude, your character, your actions, all of that is in your control. If a situation is difficult, you may not control that situation, but your reactions, your courage, your perspective, these came from within you. When you understand that before changing the world outside, you must first change where your attention goes. That's when clarity began to form. Which thoughts you entertain, which thoughts you release, which voice you listen to, which voice you ignore. This decision creates the quality of your mind, and when your attention gets clear, your life begins to get clear. Slowly, you start to see your mind is not a trash bin. Where is the world dump its negativity? It is in a garden where only the thoughts that bring peace and strength should be cultivated. This chapter whispers to you, choose your focus wisely, because where your focus goes, your life follows. Chapter 3. Overthinking is like a running on a mental treadmill. You get tired, but you don't move forward. It feels like thinking, but it is actually fear disguised as analysis. You replay the past, you rehearse the future, you examine every small detail as if the perfect answer will magically appear. But overthinking never brings clarity. It only creates confusion. He is a realization from think straight. Your mind will never reach peace by thinking more, only by thinking less. Overthinking is like tangled thread. The harder to pull, the tighter it gets. Have you noticed when you are stuck in your mind, life began to feel distant, like you are watching yourself rather than living fully? You think, what if I make the wrong choice? What will people say? What if I am not ready? What if I fail? But the real question is, what if you are wasting your life waiting for perfect certainty that will never come? Action does not come from thought. Action creates thought. When you take even a small step forward, your mind clear because your brain understand, oh, we are moving. The mind was designed to respond the reality, not to induce mental simulation. So when your thoughts start spinning, tell yourself, I don't need to solve everything in my head right now. Then do something. Even the smallest step, send the message, start the recording, write the first sentence, pick up the book, walk into the room, take the first move. You cannot think your way into confidence. You act your way into it. Here is the quiet truth. You don't need more answer. You need less hesitation. And overthink is hesitation in slow motion. Once you realize that clarity is born from experience, not imagination. Your mind is become lighter, life start to become simple, not because everything is solved, but because you stop trying to mental control everything. You began to trust yourself more, you began to trust the process, you began to breathe again, and finally you begin in life instead of endlessly think. If you want, I can now do. Chapter 4. The Power of Clarity. We often think that our biggest problems are not enough time, not enough opportunity, not enough resources. But the real problem is much simpler. We lack clarity. When the mind is foggy, every path looks wrong. But when the mind becomes clear, only one path stands out, and that is enough. Think straight, remind us. Clarity is like a light. It shines from within. When you are clear about what you truly want, why you want it, what no longer matters, and what you can let go of, decision making becomes almost effortless. Clarity means freeing your mind from noise, the noise of other people's opinion, the noise of past depression, the noise of future fears, the noise of comparison with others. When you are quiet the external noise, you begin to hear the internal voice. The quiet voice, the honest voice, that inner compass. Clarity is not about thinking more, it is about thinking cleaner. If two choices are in front of you and your mind feels confused, clarity says, pause, look again, feel it, then choose. Clarity does not rush, it guides. When you know who are you, who are not, and the direction you want to go, you stop living by other people's expectations and start living by your own truth. Clarity calms the mind, and calm mind makes better decision. Think of it this way: the ocean looks muddy when it is disturbed. When the water becomes still, its depth becomes visible. In the same way, when your mind settles, your life is become clear. The message of this chapter is simple. The clear your mind, the simpler your life becomes. When you gain clarity, you feel lighter, you feel stronger, you stop wandering off track. You move confidently in your direction. Because when your direction is right, even a wrong step still take you forward in same way. That is the true power of clarity. Chapter 5. Think in facts, not a feeling. Your mind is powerful, but it's also emotional, and emotions can distort reality. When something doesn't go your way, feeling might tell you, I am not good enough, I am always fail, nothing ever works out for me. But are these facts? No, these are emotional reactions. Think state teaches a crucial lesson. You must separate what is real from what you merely feel. Let's say someone doesn't reply to your message. Feeling might say they are ignoring me, they don't care. I must have said something wrong. But facts might be they are busy, haven't seen it, they will respond later. See the difference. Your feelings are valid, but they are not always accurate. Feeling can overstate. They can twist situation, they can mistake shadow, look like a monster. But facts are stable, solid, unemotional. When you think in facts, you create your emotional stability. You drop reacting and start responding. Ask yourself, what do I know for sure? Not what you assume, and not what you fear, not what you imagine, but what is certain. For example, feelings say, I can't do this. Facts say, I haven't tried enough yet. Feelings say, people are judging me. Facts say, I don't actually know what they are thinking. Feelings say, everything is going wrong. Facts say, only one thing went wrong and I can fix it. Emotions are like a cloud, they move and change. Facts are like a sky, they remain. This chapter invites you to become a wise observer, not to reject your feeling, but to question them gently. So to yourself, I feel this, but is it true? When you adopt fact-based thinking, your decision become better, your reaction become calmer, your relationship become healthier, and your life is become more grounded. Feeling can guide you, but facts should lead you. Because truth doesn't change even if emotions do. And the more you live in truth, the more peaceful your mind becomes. Chapter 6. Accept what you can't control. We exhaust ourselves fighting battles we never meant to win. People's behavior, their reaction, the outcomes of situation, timing, uncertainties, unexpected events in life. Most of these are simply not in our control. One of the most liberating truths from think state is this: where your control ends, your peace began. We often want people to think like us, respond like us, understand us, appreciate us. But the reality is, people think from their own minds, react from their own memories, decide from their own experiences. Their mind is their world. Your mind is your world. When you are cling tightly to something you cannot change, it continues to hurt you. But when you let go, you become lighter. What is in your control? Your perspective, your attitude, what you choose to focus on, your behavior, your effort, your mindset. What is not in your control? What control think of you likes you or doesn't? How the world respond? What happens tomorrow? Who meets your expectations or fail them? When you finally accept the something are outside your power, a quiet stillness entire the world, a calm space, a soft surrender. Acceptance is not a weakness; it is freedom. It doesn't mean saying I don't care at all. It means saying I would not waste energy on something that I cannot influence. Acceptance redirects your strength back to the areas where is the truly matter. Think of it, the ocean doesn't control the shoreline, but it knows the power of its waves. In the same way, you can't control other people's intention, but you can control your inner steadiness. This chapter whispers gently, let's go, so your mind can open when you realize that you never needed to control everything and you never truly could. You stop resisting life instead of wrestling with reality, which began to flow with it. And in that acceptance, you discover the deep, quiet, enduring peace. Chapter 7. Decision Making with Clarity. Every decision you make shape your life in some small or significant way. And yet, most of us make a decision in a state of confusion, pressured by fear, influenced by others, or rushed by urgency. But clarity changes the way you choose. When your mind is clear, decisions don't feel heavy, they feel true. Think straight teaches us make decision from clarity, not from anxiety. A decision made in restless mind often lead to regret, but the decision made in calm mind lead to direction. Imagine two versions of you, one thinking while stressed and one thinking while peaceful. The stressed mind sees danger everywhere. The calm mind sees options. The stressed mind asks, what if it goes wrong? The calm mind asks, what if it goes right? Good decisions don't come from thinking harder, they come from thinking cleaner. Sometimes best decision is not a most logical one, but the one that feels aligned with your inner truth. So before making a choice, pause, breathe, return to yourself. Ask, does this feel right for me? Or I just trying to please others? I goozing from fear or from confidence? Is this decision based on facts or assumption? Will this matter is 5 years or I am reacting to a moment? The right decision is rarely too loud one. It is often the quiet one whispering from within. And here is something important. No decision is perfect. You will never have 100% certainty, but clarity gives you enough certainty to take the next step. And with each step, the path becomes cleaner. You start trusting your judgment, you start believing in your intuition, you start weighing your choice. Because the goal is not always to be right, it is to be aligned with you who are becoming. The chapter reminds us the clear mind makes clear choices and clear choices create a clear life. Chapter 8. Keep life simple. In our modern world, life is not a complicated. We are make it complicated. We collect too many desires, too many expectations, too many fears, too many distractions, and slowly we down in the very noise we created. Think straight teaches a gentle but powerful truth. Simplicity is not a lack of ambitions; it is form of clarity. When life is simple, the mind is become light. When the mind is light, the heart become free. Notice how children live. The focus on the moment, not the burden of the past, not the fear of the future. The life simply and therefore they live fully. As a Adults, be complicated life with what will people think? Will I succeed? I enough? What will happen next? What if you live with fewer questions and deeper presence? Keeping life simple does not mean living small, it means living true. It means valuing experiences over possessiveness, valuing peace over perfection, valuing clarity over complexity, valuing meaning over popularity. Ask yourself, what can I remove from my life that is not a serving me, a toxic relationship, a unnecessary obligation, a self-imposed acceptations, a fear, keep crying, a habit that drain your mind every time you subtract something unnecessary, you add space for something meaningful. Simplicity is not about lackness, it is about alignment. It is remembering you don't need everything, you just need what actually matters. The most peaceful lives are not the ones with the most things, but the ones with the least clutter, inside and outside. So let life breathe, let silence exist, let space remain, let thoughts settle. Sometimes the best way to move forward is to lighten the load. The chapter reminds us life becomes clear not by adding more but by needing less. And in that simplicity, we find space to think, room to grow, and freedom to simply be. Finally, friends, the essence of think straight. At the end of everything, after all the ideas, after all the techniques, after all the lessons, the book brings you to one profound realization. Your mind is not your enemy, your mind is your instrument. You were never meant to become a self to your thoughts, a victim of your emotions, a prisoner of your fears. You were meant to become their master, their stipulator, or their conductor. This entire book is not ultimately about thinking less or thinking more. It is about thinking clear. Because when thinking become clear, life become lighter, problems become smaller, decision becomes calmer, emotions become softer, and living become easier. You begin to see not every thought deserves attention, not every emotion deserves worship, not every fear of deserve belief, not every worry deserve energy. You learn to direct your mind instead of being directed by it. You learn that peace it is not found external condition, it is created internally by the quality of your thoughts. You learn that clarify. It is not a something you discover, it is something you cultivated. And slowly you began to notice a shift. Instead of thinking inside the storm, you began thinking above the storm. Instead of the reacting, you began responding. Instead of the drawing in thoughts, you began observing them. Instead of being thoughts, you become awareness. And you understand, maybe for the first time, that your mind is a sky, not a storm. Thoughts are clouds, feeling are winds, fear are shadows, but you are the space inside which everything comes and goes. And when you truly realize this deep, quiet, steady peace settles in your chest, you are finally free from mental chaos, not because the world changed, but because you changed. Because ultimately, think straight leave you with the one beautiful truth. When your mind becomes clear, your life becomes your again. You return to yourself, to your center, to your truth, to your own calm, to your own existence. And that is the real freedom. Thank you for listening. Stay mindful, stay peaceful, and keep thinking clearly.